Hi guys, it's Kendall from Carnivore with Kendall. Welcome back. 3 weeks caffeine free, high fat carnivore. Energy's back, stronger than caffeine ever gave me. Super excited to share my weeks 2 and 3 results from going high fat carnivore and caffeine free. Now I know some of you see me do the caffeine free before, but this is a little bit different, and I know a lot of you guys aren't probably going to like hearing this, but you've really got to listen to your body. And I'm giving you how I'm feeling, and my body's obviously different to everybody else's, but your body is going to give you signs and you've got to listen to them because we're doing this way of eating and living this lifestyle so that we can heal our bodies and feel ultimately the best we can feel, especially as we get older. I'm now 50. I want to be able to keep my energy up, feel amazing, and just live my best life like everybody does. So you have to listen to your body. And I think, unfortunately, caffeine has become the social norm in our society. I've tried all the little tips and things. You can see my other video about that. And to be honest, it doesn't work. Caffeine is a drug. It's a toxin. It's an anti-nutrient. It is addictive. I thought I could just have a cup every now and then. And, as I said before, it's a social thing. And I think people look down upon you sometimes when you don't have it. Well, I don't really care because I want to feel amazing. And if you're really honest with yourself, you need to look at what's going on. So for me, I found myself increasing my anxiety. I was getting tired. I was having spikes in my energy levels. I wasn't sleeping as well. My skin was dehydrated, dehydrating the body, blocking it blocks your adenosine receptors, which allow you to feel tired so you can sleep properly. It was being a diuretic. Obviously it's dehydrating your body, but it's also preventing you from knowing your hunger cues and when you're hungry. So all those things are really bad. Plus it can attract mold. Once it's roasted, it loses all its antioxidant qualities anyway. So why the hell are we drinking it for? Like really, it's really a habit. It is a drug and people get addicted to it. And I don't want it. I don't want that. And I'm not interested in having it every now and then because I know I can't do that. So for me, I'm done and I feel so much better. I'm sleeping better. I've got my hunger cues back. I'm eating healthier because of that. And I'm not eating because I've had coffee. I'm not all jacked up and going crazy and staying awake and, all this pretend energy that you think you might have is actually because you're increasing the stress on your adrenals and your thyroid and your hormones, and it's jacking everything up and it's making you all full of energy. And then you have this massive crash and you feel tired. And then when you want to go to sleep, you can't go to sleep. So it's just like a vicious circle. And then people feel tired in the morning and then they have more. So you're not allowing your body to work at its optimal capacity. So you're never going to feel great. It's not helping you absorb all the nutrients in your food and the minerals in your food. So you're not getting the best out of your food and your diet. It's dehydrating you. It's preventing you from sleeping. That's enough for me. I don't need any more to say that's not good for me. So that's it for coffee. You can tell me what you think. I've had a lot of people talking about coffee. Caffeine pills are no better. So really, guys, if you give it a week, even sometimes 2 weeks, it doesn't take you long to feel. You might get some headaches. You might feel a little bit crappy, but it is so worth it once you get past that because your body then isn't relying on this pretend source of energy and spiking your blood sugar, which means when you're on carnivore or keto, you're never going to be in ketosis. You're not going to be burning fat for fuel when you're having coffee and spiking your blood sugar and mucking up all your hormones, including your sex hormones and your sex drive. So for me, I want all that stuff. And as a woman, it can also muck around with your cycle. No one wants that. I want to be like a well-oiled Ferrari and I want to be revving well into my 50s and 60s. I'm not prepared to be having that stuff in my body. Now, that's enough about coffee. High fat. amazing. So I've basically cut my protein down and increased my fat. So I'm having about 200 grams of fat, which is in, if you track your macros and you put in your meals into an app, it can break down your macros, which is your protein, your fat, and your carbs, into a percentage. And it can tell you what you're having. So I'm sort of aiming at about roughly 80%, which is about 200 grams of fat, which sounds a lot. But once you get the hang of adding that into your meals and having tablespoons, and you can have little butter bites and all the things I've showed you, it's not that hard. Buy some beef trimmings, buy some fat from the butcher, making talon butter bites. You just have to get used to having that, and you actually feel full. I feel really amazingly full. And it's allowing my body to make the cholesterol and help my hormones to be working properly and putting everything back into balance so that I can be, like I said, working optimally, and my body's working optimally to be able to break everything down. My metabolism's working properly, and I'm able to keep my blood sugar in check and my insulin in check because I'm eating a few smaller meals rather than having big gaps and trying to fast like I was before, which puts stress on your body and on your adrenals and increases the cortisol in your system, which makes you think you're in flight or fight mode. And that is going to spike your blood sugar, and that is going to go into glucose, and it puts stress on you, and you can't break it all down. And then, you are out of ketosis, you're not burning fat for fuel at all. So all those things come into it, they all link together. So less protein, I'm trying to have about 60 grams. I'm struggling a little bit with that because I'm so used to having about 90 grams of protein. And unless you guys track, you won't really know. So if you want to do a little experiment, get a little app. I use my Fitness Pal. Track what you're having in your macros and your meals and see what your percentages are and your grams are. It'll give you an idea. So cutting down the protein means that my body is relying more on the fat for fuel. It's putting me into fat burning mode and into ketosis ultimately. And then I'm having protein, which is still going to help me build muscle and run my body, but my body's able to break it down more effectively. As a 5'2" woman who's only about 53 kilos, I don't need 100 grams of protein. And that was just, my body's not able to break it down. My kidneys aren't able to break it down. And that can give you a whole lot of issues, and including your electrolytes being out of imbalance, having things like leg cramps, restless legs, all that sort of stuff, having any sort of back pain, and constipation was another one. And no one talks about it, but I was under the impression, because I'd heard other people talk about it, that it's normal on a carnivore diet to only go once a week. No, it's not normal, and it doesn't feel good, and it feels bloody awful after you've waited a whole week, because your body needs to get rid of those toxins. So we should be going to the toilet like most days or every other day at least. And that, for me, has started to happen since I've been doing high-fat carnivore, because my body's now able to eliminate things. It's not trying to force all this protein where it doesn't go, and it's making me feel so much better. So these are all my little nuggets that I found from going high-fat carnivore and cutting out the coffee. I will try and update you again at the end of my 4 weeks and really give you an overall recap of what I'm going to do. Basically, I've really cut that protein down. So instead of having 2 beef patties, I'm only having 1 beef patty, and I'm having 3 tablespoons of butter with that instead. At night, I'm still having my steak most nights, and then I'll have a couple of tablespoons of butter with that as well. And in the morning, I've been having like my egg flip, which is my high-fat sort of carnivore drink with the cream, thickened cream, and 2 egg yolks, a bit of salt and a bit of cinnamon and vanilla essence. I'm alternating that with some fat trimmings that I fry up in the air fryer, and I put 50 grams of fat trimmings, a couple of egg yolks, which I cook up, and then a tablespoon of butter. And that's been my breakfast, and I'm having that around 7:30, which is a couple of hours after I get up. And I do my workout at 5, and after my workout, I'll have a butter bite. So a little bit of butter, which is sometimes half tallow, half butter. So that's my new routine in a nutshell. I'll show you some photos and I'll recap it all on week 4. But excited to share with you guys. I'd love to hear how you're going. I really love hearing your comments. Happy to comment back. Obviously, this is my journey and my body is very different to everybody else's, but you have to listen to your body. Please listen to your body and don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Listen to your body and honor your body. We only get one and we only get one life, and we want to live our best life as much as we can. So look forward to hearing from you guys. Like and subscribe. That would be awesome if you want to be kept up to date with my content. And I can't wait to share more with you soon. Bye-bye.